Hi guys, XR student here. So have you ever seen those trussels for weddings that have tons and tons of wisteria? I want one of those, but I didn't want to go on Amazon and buy one. I figured I could make one. And yesterday on my live stream, I was actually able to make a paper version, and I'm really proud of it. It obviously needs more petals, but I really love how it turned out so far. I'm going to show you guys how we're going to try to make our own wisteria out of paper, and I'll help you along the whole way. So here's what you need. You need some paper. It does not have to be light purple because technically you'll be able to paint it if you want. I just really like this as a base. You need scissors, or you could use an X-Acto knife. You need some pipe cleaners, specifically green and purple. If you don't have purple and you have pink instead, that's actually better. We need paintbrushes. Just choose the ones you're most comfortable with painting and a smaller one for details. A hot glue gun, paint. Realistically for paint, you only really need a pink, white, purple, and yellow. It could be varying colors, but these are the ones that I used that I liked. I just chose cheap ones from Walmart and from Michael's. I do want to mention, to make this beautiful wisteria, I actually made a printable worksheet that's going to be available on my Etsy for like $1 or $2, just to support me if you want. But you can easily just draw this shape and make sure you make this one bigger, smaller than smaller. But I figured this could be a cool little instruction guide if you want. I'll put the link in my description. Let's say you do decide to print this or download it. We want these shapes for our wisteria petals. I already have a few cut that I did last night, so then I can be prepared for today. You could cut out as many as you would like. Just make sure you have A and B, so the biggest teardrop petal as well as the base petal. You need the same amount of these because these need to be layered on top of each other to make this wisteria shape. I printed out this page, and you're actually able to use this as stencils. So I'm just gonna cut them out so then I can use them. So I'm just cutting along the lines for each of these. It does not have to be perfect. You could always cut it the exact size that you want. But keep in mind, all of these petals will be curled and painted, so any imperfections won't be noticed as much because it will have so much going on that no one's going to be looking to see if there is a mistake. You're going to take your sheet of paper, take your stencils if you choose to use them, and you're going to trace out a bunch of them. I just go around lightly with a pencil. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'll just cut it to the way that I want it. Also, I'm lazy and I have my stencil. If I didn't want to use this, just make a little mountain shape and kind of round it off straight at the bottom. Again, take the shape, trace it. Remember, since this is A, that half circle, almost, the rounded half circle, I want the same amount as A and B. So I'm just going to do another one of these because we have a A right there. With the tiny ones, you want to do a bunch of them because this will fill in the bottom of our wisteria. This one that I did yesterday, I love how it came out, but I would love even more to just fill in the space and even make it go around the back. So I'm just going to take it and make as many as I need. Now you can use scissors or an X-Acto knife to cut these out, whatever one you're most comfortable with. Sometimes I like using the X-Acto knife, but lately I've been really into scissors. Again, doesn't have to be perfect as long as you get the shapes that you need. And when you're done cutting it out, you can always erase the pencil marks if you would like, or just flip it over and paint on this side because you won't see the back. Now that I have all the petals cut out, I'm going to take a look at the picture, and to me, I see that there's light purple in the middle, darker purple on the edges, a little bit of white, yellow, pink right where the yellow is. And with these teardrop shapes, You just have to do dark purple on the edge. That's what we're going to replicate. I'm going to take my darker purple and just kind of dab at the edges of my petal. I really like when it's not a perfect stroke, it's dabbed and natural and almost looks like it's fading into the next color. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish all of these. Now that I have all of these guys painted with the purple outline, I'm going to let them dry, and later I'll do more detail work. Eventually they'll be looking like this, which is so much fun. I'm going to take any one of these petals, and I'm doing the same method on all of them. It's just obviously they're different sizes. I'm going to take purple and just dab it all on the outer edge. Now I'm going to do this with all of these petals. Now that all the petals are done with the purple, we're going to go in with white. Again, we're gonna do that dabbing, dry brushing, but we're only going to do it at the very tip. We're just gonna fade it in. And that's it. You're just gonna let it dry, and we're going to continue doing that with all the other petals, each size. Don't touch these yet. Just do the teardrop petals for now. I'm going to do these. Shape A, or the half rounded circle petals, the bigger ones. All we're going to do is the same thing, but right at the middle of our petal, we're just going to dab and kind of go around. We don't want to fill in this whole spot because I do want that purple paper to show through, so it looks like it's faded from white to light purple to dark purple. So you're just going to dab it on. If it looks like it's too thick, you could always use your finger to blend it out, and just go from the middle upward. While all these petals are drying the A shape, we're going to move on to the other ones that are actually dry. And all we're going to do with the teardrop shape, take a little bit of our pink, and we're just going to do a little dot at the tip. And that's it. That's all you have to do on every single teardrop shape. While these pink dots dry, we're going to work on our petals. As long as it's dry, some of these are still wet, so I'll just work with the driest ones. You're going to take the pink, and all you're gonna do is kind of just dab it just in the middle. It might not show up when we glue it on, but I like doing the detail just in case it does, because that's what the flowers have. You just go towards the middle, dab a bit of the pink on, and put it down and let it dry. Next step, we're going to take a thin brush, dab it in the yellow, and this one is a little bit of skill. You just have to do 3 triangles. So just go up. And it's okay if the pink gets mixed in. Also, I feel like flowers kind of blend colors anyways. Everything will be folded so you won't see it intensely, and no one's going to be looking at each one perfectly because there will be a lot of petals going on. So again, you just start out harder and go swipe up. Push down, bring it up. Push down, bring it up. So it gets that nice flick. And even if it's not perfect, that is okay. Just paint over it. We have all of our petals we're going to be working with. You guys could obviously make more if you want a fuller look. Since all of these are dry, we're going to curl the petals in order to make it look more realistic. So if you look here, all of these are curled. They almost look like little fingernails. You can either use a paintbrush or a toothpick, something that's kind of tapered at the top. So it goes from thick to thin. Take a petal, put the thin side where the thin part of your paintbrush is, and just kind of roll the edges onto it. It does not have to be perfectly in the middle. It just has to be rolled. And then you have your petal shape. So I'll just show you what it looks like with a small one because this one's the hardest. Keep it towards the top, use your thumb on one side, and curl with the other thumb. So we get that nice petal look. Here's with the big one, the size B, thumb on one side, kind of pre-curl it a little bit, and then use the other thumb to curl it on. You could always move it around if you don't like the shape. And luckily, this paper does roll well. Now we're gonna do that with all of the teardrop petals. Don't worry about these yet. We have all these teardrop petals rolled. Now it's time to focus on the bigger petal, the A shape. So all I'm going to do is fold it in half. I know it seems crazy, but when you look at the Wisteria, it is in half, and The line doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. It's okay as long as you have it there. What I like to do is use my nail to kind of score it. If you don't have a nail, that's okay. Fold and then try your best to push it down. If you need, maybe use something around you to push it down, but we really want that crease to be there. All of these are folded. Now comes the hard and fun part. So we'll open it up. We're going to take our little rolling tool. We're going to take it with your thumb, a little bit of the corner, and just roll a little bit. Nothing crazy, just enough to get a nice little roll. Go to the other side, thumb on it, a little bit of a roll. Cute. Now we're going to take the top and roll. Once we have all the sides rolled over, you're going to just squeeze it in the middle and try to roll as it's squeezed. We really want it to be this shape. And it might not be perfect, it might not stay, but we're going for this. To me, it reminds me of a fortune cookie. I'll show you again. We open one up, take our thumb, a little bit of a roll on one side, go to the opposite side, thumb on the little bit of the petal, roll a wee bit, roll the top a little bit, fold it, and try to roll. Next step, we're going to build this stem. So you want your green stem, and that's going to be the main base. And I have on the worksheet the same thing. We want to start off with the bigger pieces, going down smaller, smaller, smaller. So it's just gradually biggest to smallest petals. Remember, this guide is just mainly for the stencil, so getting these shapes. And it has a little bit of how to work it, but this video is going to be the main guide. We're going to take our purple pipe cleaner, and you can use a scissor, but I'm going to use my pliers. You're going to kind of cut like a good amount, maybe the size of your thumb or a little bit less. Just cut a bunch of those, about the same size. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be enough that we could wrap around the green pipe cleaner and glue onto it. These honestly might be a little bit too long, but we could always trim it if we don't like it. We're going to take our green plier and our purple plier. We're just going to wrap the purple plier around the green. Later, we're going to go in with some hot glue. So if it's not perfectly safe, don't worry. We're going to take more of the pipe cleaners and just twist it around. You can do every which way. We can always add more afterwards. We're just trying to get that grape stem. Beep, 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 beep. I'm kind of keeping the smaller pipe cleaners towards the bottom because that's where all the smaller petals will be. And we want it to go from small to big because that's how our wisteria look. Now that we have all the pipe cleaners on, I'm going to use my hot glue gun and just go straight down the stem. So then we get all those little bits glued together and safely on. Once that's dry or about to dry, go to the other side. Same thing. Personally, I don't mind the glue showing because it's going to be covered in flowers. You just need to make more petals if it's still showing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the tip of my top point. I'm going to take a tiny petal and just plop it on there. If there's any glue that's on the side, just use your fingers. We have our first little petal and we're going to add on more. So again, we're starting out with the smallest ones towards the bottom of our stem. So obviously this part's ugly. You can move our petals in front of it and eventually just add more of the pipe cleaner to put more stems on. But for now, we're just trying to do a base of it. I'm going to move on to our medium size. So this is D, this would be C from our stencils. Again, glue at the tip, put it on, get rid of the glue on the sides. We're starting to have a little bit of size variation. And the reason why I don't mind the size of the pipe cleaners being different, because then we're able to have some that are in or out, and not everything grows perfectly in nature. So might as well make it fun. Do a few more of these big boys, the C's. Now we're going to be putting A and B together. They're going to lay on top of each other like this. I'm going to put this on first, glue it on just like the other ones. Get rid of the glue on the sides. Then with our A, we're just going to glue where the pink is, right at the edge. And all we're gonna do is literally stick it on top of the B one. And if you want, you could even fold it downwards around the pipe cleaner. Glue B on first. Get one of the A's, curl it a little bit on the bottom, put some glue right there. We're going to plop it on top. Try grabbing the sides if we can to bring it downward. And we have some wisteria flowers. Now you can just adjust these. They're allowed to be on top of each other because that's how it is in nature. They can be in front of each other. If you find that any of them are too pointy or losing that curl, just take your paintbrush and curl it again. Now we have our beautiful wisteria. I had one started already, so I just added some on. Any point where I saw that there was hot glue, I just glued a piece of the pipe cleaner on top like this instead of doing it from behind, and it actually covered the glue quite nicely. And I just filled it in to make it look more triangular. This one I feel like looks better. I think if you were to add more to this one, I would do longer pipe cleaners and put more petals on the edge, so then it would have more of that triangular shape. But I really love them together because you will see wisteria like this hanging. And again, if you see any that don't look as curled, just take your brush, curl a few to make it look more lifelike. I am so happy with how these turned out, and hopefully you are too. Leave a comment down below if you made this. Tag me on Instagram or YouTube or something if you did make it. I'd love to see your little wisterias. And if you just enjoyed watching, that's okay too. Thanks for following along with this tutorial. I hope it helped. I really enjoyed doing it. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye. Have a good day.